my god. Okay, that's not cool. Can you see that on the side here? It looks like the primer is kind of crumbling a little bit underneath. Oh my god, this is like the hardest palette to open. Yeah, so that one is very powdery. I'm honestly super impressed. I love the color. I love the finish. I think it was like $3 or $4 or something like that. Hey everyone, welcome back on my channel. If you've seen one of my recent videos, you might have seen that I did pick up quite a lot of new drugstore items. So I want to do a whole phase of new impressions of new drugstore items. I have them all next to me and honestly can't wait because so many of those are super hyped and I've never tried them before. I'll start off with primer, and I did test this primer once. So this is the only item I've actually tried before. More because, and I didn't use it as a primer funnily enough, because I thought it's just like a face cream, a moisturizer, until I realized that it's actually used as like a primer under your makeup. So I didn't really use it the right way. So I thought today we're gonna actually test it as a primer. And this is the Hello Fab Coconut Skin Smoothing Priming Moisturizer. It does have a little bit of color. It's slightly tinted, as you can see here. I've just washed my face and didn't put any moisturizer on. So let's see how that works. Oh, it smells really nice. I'm normally not a big primer user in general. I don't know, I always have this feeling of a primer kind of blocks my pores a little bit. I actually prefer more of a kind of glowy, dewy primer. And this one definitely looks very dewy. I don't know, I can't really say yet if it works as a primer or not. It does feel good, it does make your skin feel really silky. So let's try the next product, which is the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk Nourishing Foundation, and this is in a color light medium. This apparently is a bit more of a tinted moisturizer rather than an actual foundation, so I'm quite excited to see. It's really small. This only has like 30 ml in it, and it says it blurs imperfections, evens out skin tone. It's a sheer buildable coverage, exactly. I don't have too much redness right now, but I definitely have some spots down here. Okay, I think you see my face a little bit better that way. I hope the color fits because there was no tester and I had to order it online. As you can see, it's super runny. It doesn't really smell of anything. And in general, for like tinted moisturizers, I really like using my fingers. Okay, it feels super, super moisturizing. It literally feels like a moisturizer, not like a foundation. Oh my god. Okay, that's not cool. Can you see that on the side here? It looks like the primer is kind of crumbling a little bit underneath. So we can see it on my middle finger here. It's like this little bits. Yeah, it's not the best start to this look. I'm gonna press it in a little bit with my foundation brush, but you can definitely tell it did not cover up the spots here. You can still see the spot, but it did say it's buildable, so let's try that. Okay, let's try this little bit just with the brush. I don't think it covered it up any better than it was just before. Okay, so yeah, first impression I would say it is definitely a very lightweight foundation. It feels a bit like a moisturizer, to be honest. And I really like the feeling of it. You can't really feel it on your skin. And it definitely evens out your skin tone, but it is not really covering, I think. So if you do have like spots and stuff like that, you do need a concealer on top. Otherwise, I think it does look really, really good. It does make my skin feel like very hydrated and glowy. I do think the primer helps a little bit with the glowiness. I am quite happy with the result. Like, I was after a tinted moisturizer, so I'm quite happy with that, but I definitely need a little bit of a concealer on top. Okay, but let's tackle the spots, and for that I have the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, and I got the color Fair Warm. Again, I didn't have a tester, so I'm not 100% sure how the color matches, but I do hope that it works. I've read very good reviews about it. I've never tested any e.l.f. concealer before, and I'm normally quite picky with my concealers. I hate when they are too covering, but I also don't like when they're too sheer, and I hate when they crease under my eye, so I have very high expectations when it comes to concealers. And it does have this very big doe foot applicator, which I actually quite like. Put it under the eyes. Oh, it does look very light. I have a feeling it might be a bit too light for me. I'm gonna do one side with the brush and the other side with my fingers. It does blend out quite nicely. I think it's actually fine when you blend it out. It's not super covering, I would say. I would say it's like a medium coverage. It does cover my under eyes a bit, but I definitely have more covering concealers. Oh my god, look how easily it blends out. I really like the result of that. You can't really see that I have any concealer on at all. I hope it doesn't crease, but first impression, I really like it. I think it gives me like a good coverage for under the eyes, but it's not like too intense. I think I could have taken one darker shade. Okay, yeah, I can kind of see like here it's too light. Yeah, as I said, like it's not full coverage. You can still see the spots a little bit, so I would definitely stick with a more covering concealer for my spots. I think that one is really nice for like under your eyes, or if you have like some kind of redness around your nose where you kind of want to cover it up a little bit. But if you really want to cover your spots, then I would recommend one that's a little bit more covering. But I don't think it's bad. It really depends on what you're after. I don't have a new powder, so I'm gonna quickly powder just my T-zone and under my eyes a little bit with my old powder from L'Oreal, and then I'll be right back. Okay, moving on to the next product, which I'm actually really excited about, is the Wet n Wild Color Icon palette in the shade Nude Awakening. And they do have quite a few different ones. I just really like this one. I just wanted to have like a super simple neutral palette. If I can open it. Oh my god, this is like the hardest palette to open. Great, now chip my nail polish as well. Okay, about 3 years later, I managed to open this palette. Let me swatch a few of the colors. I've just swatched all of them, and I kind of feel like that the matte ones are super nice, super kind of creamy and very easily to blend. But it looks like that the shimmer ones are just like a little bit stiff and a little bit hard. That one here, for example, is just a little bit, I don't know, not really that pigmented. Not too much color comes off. So I would say that palette is definitely for, I wouldn't say for beginners, but I would say for someone that either is a little bit scared of eyeshadow or just prefers a lighter kind of eyeshadow look. But let's actually try it on the eyes. I'm just thinking what I want to do today. I'm just gonna start off with this brown shade here and just put it into the crease a little bit. Yeah, so that one is very powdery. I think it doesn't look too bad. It blends quite nicely as well. I'm tempted to do some sort of like halo look where I do like a darker inner corner, a darker outer corner, and then like a light shade in the middle. I think that could be quite cool. But yeah, that one blends really easily. Cool, then let's try maybe this red shade here. I'm gonna use a brush that's a little bit more dense and apply this. You can kind of see like there's quite a bit of fallout. I'm just gonna apply it in the outer corner. Yeah, that's really pigmented. You can definitely tell like those matte shades have a lot of color. I feel like I'm losing a lot of the color when I blend it. I just need to build it up a little bit more again. But as I said, like I think if it blends really easily, even if it like loses a lot of color, it just means that it's really hard to make mistakes because you can literally just blend it away. I think for like an everyday eyeshadow palette, that could be a really, really good one. So now I'm gonna do the inner corner as well. I was really scared of like putting dark colors into my inner corner. And then I connect the reds just in the middle by blending it in. Also, I'm not a makeup expert. I literally just do what I see on YouTube and just try to recreate what other people do and just experiment and try. I just do makeup for fun. I'm really not that talented or anything, but it just gives me a lot of joy. I'm gonna use a tiny bit of the concealer and put it on my small finger. You can also use an eyeshadow base. I just don't have one right now and I don't think it's really necessary. Just to create a sticky layer for the glitter shadow because I think it's not too pigmented and a bit of a base kind of helps it to show more glitter and color. So I'm just gonna use my finger. And then I'm gonna use the fluffy brush from before. I went into the glitter shade as well and just blend the sides in a little bit. And now I'm going to take a smaller brush and apply the red shade under my eyes as well, just to kind of make the whole eye look a little bit more cohesive. Otherwise it's really heavy on the top and then there's nothing at the bottom. And then I'm going to take the same brush, going into the glitter shade again, and just kind of apply it on top a little bit. I'm going to dip into this lighter shade here. Again, we have quite a bit of fallout. I'm going to apply this up here under my eyebrows, and then I'm going into this kind of like white shimmery shade here and apply that into the inner corner of my eye. Okay, and to finish this look off, I'm gonna use an angled eyeshadow brush and I'm gonna go into this black color here and use it as an eyeliner, because I don't have a new eyeliner, so I'll just make use of the black. Okay, that's like super zoomed in now, but you can kind of tell there's like a little bit of fall down on the side here where the glitter shadow was, and then also a few specks of the black down here. So I'm gonna try and clean everything up. I'm gonna do the second eye and then I'll be back for the mascara. Okay, I'm back with both eyes done, and to finish off testing this palette, I thought we could also do my eyebrows with it, because I just realized that there is this dark brown shade here. So I'm gonna go back with the angled eyeshadow brush. I did clean it so it's not black anymore, and I'm gonna dip into this brown shade a little bit. I'm gonna be careful because from what I've seen so far, the matte shades are extremely pigmented. Okay, when I use eyeshadow, I always brush it out afterwards a little bit as well, just to make it look a bit more natural. Not that this look is any natural, but at least the eyebrows can look natural. I actually think that looks really, really good. I feel like I have one eyebrow that's like really intense now. Okay, I need to give the other eyebrow some attention as well. Cool, those are the eyebrows done. They are a little bit intense, so the color definitely is a little bit dark for me, but I think it does look quite nice. Okay, now moving on to mascara. This is probably the item I'm most excited about. This is the CoverGirl Clump Crusher Extension Mascara, and I got it in very black. Before we dip in, this is how the wand looks like. So it's kind of like a plasticky, quite hard, slightly curved wand, which I normally quite like. Let me get you in a little bit closer. Okay, that's like super close up, but at least you're gonna see what I'm doing. So it definitely gives me some length without clumping them. Okay, so this is one coat of the mascara from the side as well. So I think it does give me quite good length. It's not the most amazing mascara I've tried so far with just one coat, but I really like that it doesn't clump. I'm gonna do the other eye quickly and then we can do a second layer. So those are both eyes done with just one coat. I do really like it. I do think I tried mascaras that kind of give me the same results. Specifically the new Maybelline one, this kind of pinkish one. I forgot the name of it right now, but I think you might know what I'm talking about. But yeah, let's try a second coat and see if that works any better. Yeah, the second coat definitely helps with volumizing. I think this mascara is much more intense when you do two coats, and it's definitely really buildable, which is cool, because I feel like a lot of mascaras, when you start building them, they just get really clumpy. Okay, that's really impressive. Let me get you in again. Okay, this is eye number one, where we have two coats on. I think that's quite good. Not really any clumps or anything. And then this is with just one coat, which I think is nice, but nothing too special. And then for the last product for today, I have this matte liquid lipstick here, which is from Ox Cosmetics, and this is in the color Latte. So the packaging feels really nice. This is how the applicator looks like. Quite interesting. I'm not sure if I had a lipstick before with this type of applicator. I did put some lip balm on before I started filming. I'm gonna try and get rid of it a little bit. I'm not gonna use a lip liner or anything. I just want to see how the product performs by itself. It smells a little bit vanilla-y. Quite like the applicator. It has like a, not greyish undertone, but definitely kind of like a cooler undertone. It feels really, really nice on the lips. You know how some liquid lipsticks might be really dry, but this one feels super light on the lips. It feels like I have a bit of a lip balm on. I do have a feeling that this lipstick is not kiss-proof. Yeah. I think you might have to let it dry a little bit, but it feels really, really good on the lips. Honestly, it feels like I have nothing on, and that for a matte lipstick or a liquid lipstick is really, really good, I think. I'm honestly super impressed. I love the color, I love the finish, and this lipstick was, I think it was like $3 or $4 or something like that. It was super cheap. Okay, so that is the finished makeup look. What do you think? I'm really happy with it. I think it looks really good. Overall, I think all of the products performed super nice. Kind of going through the products again, I think the primer was the only one where I'm a bit upset about that it didn't really work, because you saw how it crumbled under the foundation. So I'm not quite sure if it maybe needs to sit a little bit longer. I think I need to test it again with some other foundations as well. and I think it might have to dry a little bit more before you start putting stuff on top. And then for the foundation, my skin looks really smooth, kind of like it has a bit of a blurring filter on top. You really can't tell that I have foundation on. It's just like super lightweight and evened out my skin tone, which I absolutely love. The concealer is a touch too light for me, as I said, but overall I do quite like it for under the eyes. It does set a little bit in my fine lines, but I do have, yeah, I mean, most concealers do that really. But if I look up here where I put it on, again, you cannot see that I have concealer on. It just doesn't really cover up the spots too much, so I think it's not the best for that. But for evening out any redness that you have, I think it's really, really lovely, and it blended out so nicely. For the eyeshadow palette, I have to say it's a bit of a hit and miss for me. So you can kind of see now after I used it, like specifically the matte shades, they do look, just after one usage, a little bit messy. So they're quite powdery, while the shimmer shades are, those two are not really pigmented. Overall, I think it is nice, and it does blend out super easily as well. I definitely have better eyeshadow palettes, more high quality eyeshadow palettes, but for $13, which is like £7, I think it is very good. And then for the mascara, I was initially, the first impression was like, I'm a little bit disappointed. I kind of hope more from it. And then I put on the second coat, and then I was like, ah, now I see it. I think 2 coats of this mascara look beautiful. You could probably layer it up even more. So very good first impression. I'm really happy with it. And then the lipstick, which is probably the best find of all of the products I tried today. It is super affordable. Honestly, it's so cheap, and the quality feels, it just feels so good, and the color looks beautiful, the finish looks beautiful. Let me see. Yeah, it's still a little bit coming off, so I think that's probably the only downside, that it might not be as long lasting as other matte lipsticks. I just really love it. I really want to try some other colors as well. Let me know if you ever heard about the brand Ox Cosmetics, because I am really impressed, and I'm kind of tempted to pick up more products and do like a full face of Ox makeup, which I know it's probably only available here in New Zealand or maybe Australia. Is that I've never heard about the brand before, but if you do come here, definitely have a look at it. I think at least the one product I tried so far is really good. That is everything for today. I hope you enjoyed this kind of first impression. If you would like to see more from me, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. And I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!